Hello, everybody. I'm Scott Smith, the Communications Officer for the ABC Unified School District, and I'm joined today by our Superintendent, Dr. Mary Sieu. Good afternoon, Dr. Sieu.
Good afternoon, Scott.
We are recording this on Friday, May 8th, and we'll be broadcasting these types of videos throughout the duration of this school year. So thank you for joining me, Dr. Sieu.
Thank you.
And it's hard to believe, but it's been about 2 months since we announced school closures. Not quite 2 months, but just about. It seems like a lot has happened in that 2 months. And I know we did a video about 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
What can you distill what's happened over the last couple of weeks? Because I know a lot has.
You're absolutely right, Scott. A lot has happened just within a couple of weeks in the ABC school district. But one of the things that we've been, we have an emergency operations center every day. And during these days, we spent a great deal of time talking about all the decisions that we have to make to ensure the safety and health of our students as well as our staff members. So, for example, I know that grading, as we are closing out this final semester or final quarter, it's important that students recognize, how are they going to be graded. And I know that there are some challenges with the grading this year, but I know that our academic services department has done quite a bit of work on having the professional development to go along with our staff members and how to grade during this last semester or final quarter. And so I know that that's a part of this whole piece that we've just put together. It was presented to our Board of Education as well this past Tuesday night. Another thing that's been happening as I know many students and families are applying for schools of choice to go to a school that's outside of their residential school. We extended the timeline for our schools of choice till tomorrow, actually, at 12 o'clock. And then we will have a lottery on Sunday to determine all the placement of the students and their families at particular schools. So that's a huge undertaking as well, I know, by our child welfare and attendance department. And then our online learning at home program is definitely has been put into place. About 93 to 95% of our students are engaged with the online learning program at home. We've added some other professional development pieces such as video conferencing as well, so that the staff members are able to engage with their students more directly and in different ways than just making assignments or going to the Google Classrooms in an asynchronous way. Now they're able to connect with the students more directly as a result of the Google Meet conferencing that we have with their students.
That is a lot in just a matter of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So it's incredible all the work everyone's doing. And I know that we've had a lot of discussion about graduation. Can you share an update about the high school graduation plans?
Thank you so much for asking. It's a very important topic, not only for me, but for the entire class of 2020. We will host a virtual graduation on June 10th and an in-person graduation either in the summer or in the fall. We want to be able to honor all the seniors in our class of 2020 this year. This is an incredible year for them, not being able to participate in many of the activities, the senior activities that they are normally engaged with. And so this is a very special event and priority for me to make sure that they feel that they continue to feel valued, as well as being recognized for all the wonderful accomplishments that they've been able to achieve during their 4 years in high school.
I know that is important, and I know this virtual graduation is going to look outstanding from the just the behind the scenes videotaping that I've seen has been first class.
So as you are aware, we're working with School Shine, And they're a very professional team that has worked with all of our high schools, all of our 5 high schools already in terms of, what the virtual graduation that will allow us to have speakers from our students as well as our administration. I did a speech this week as well, or last week, as well as our president of the board, Dr. Olga Rios. So all of these things are important, I think, in any kind of a graduation ceremony.
It's going to look really well, and maybe even have some fireworks. I've
Yes,
heard.
right. Absolutely. We've got to make it real for the students.
I love that. I love that. Um, so another question a lot of folks have been asking is what school might look like next year. I know that right now we're seeing some relaxation of the social distancing guidelines at the state and county levels as we move into this stage 2 recovery. So what do you think students will come back to in the fall?
Well, it is going to look very different for our students and families when we reopen our schools in the fall. Um, I know that the Los Angeles County Office of Education and the Department of Public Health has been working very closely together to create guidelines and also requirements before we reopen our schools. The things that I remember so vividly from the guidelines from Los Angeles County Office of Education is that the requirement for physical social distancing of 6 feet apart from our students as well as our staff will have to be part of the entire school day. So that for us means that, we don't have classroom capacities to fill an entire classroom, let's just say of 30 students. So we are considering perhaps a staggered approach where maybe half the class comes on particular days or particular times of day during the school day. That's something that is under consideration. The other thing that I know that they created a requirement of is that there will be no assemblies because these are still large gatherings of students and the staff members. There will also be no sports with spectators involved. We will have, for example, the ability to have social events and other kinds of dances. For example, I know many of our schools at the secondary level have dances, and so
Mhm.
those are not going to be able to be provided in this new school year. So that is going to change a lot of things that we are able to think about before we reopen school. The other thing that I know that is going to be a requirement is that all staff as well as all students will be asked to wear a facial mask. And that's important because I know that, before we have a vaccine that's available for our students and families, it's important that, they keep themselves protected as well as protecting each other. And then finally, the one thing that I know that's important is that we are already in the process of obtaining, personal protective equipment so that we can ensure that our students and staff members are able to feel safe when they do come back to school with all of these tools that we're going to be providing.
It will be interesting to see. Yeah, it's not going to be the same.
That's right. Absolutely. It won't be.
Well, this was a big week. I mean, there were a lot of things that happened just outside of our normal school. We celebrated teachers because it was Teacher Appreciation Week, and then we had our Day of the Employee. Do you have a message for our wonderful ABC staff?
Well, it was also Nurses
Oh,
Appreciation Week
yes,
as
yes.
well as a National Communications Week today. So
Ah,
the message that I have for all of our employees is I am just simply so grateful for all of our teachers, our incredible nurses. They are on the front line of everything that we do today. And I know that for all of our employee day of the employee, for example, we have many people um, who really are in our district are on the front line. The people who pass out our grab and go meals. I think a week ago it was over 18,000 meals that we provided. But these are people who also need to have recognition because they also are being able to feed people who
Hmm.
may not have the services provided in their own homes anymore. This is very, very important to all of us. And so, my message to all of our employees in ABC, as well as the nurses throughout our country, is that we just truly appreciate everything that they've done. I just know that teachers are now going to be thought of very differently after many families have been homeschooling their own children.
Honestly,
Yeah.
honestly, that is very true. We've all seen the memes about
Yeah.
having them wanting to suspend their students who are their kids. Well, we appreciate you too. You've been a great leader, and this is a difficult time for all of us. So thank you for sharing your thoughts on that. And
Thank you.
thank you for joining me on this video.
Thank you so much, Scott. I always appreciate talking with you.
I do too. So we'll do this again soon, I hope.
Thank you so much. We will. Thank you.
Thank you.